Welcome to another Do Not Disturb dog walk. Well, we've been walking for a little bit already along this roadway here, and you know I'm adverse to making recordings while we're doing... I'm not like a big fan of street walks and the noise of traffic, so I've been waiting till we get to this park entrance to hit go on the recording. And now that we're here, it's like, okay, let's let the dogs decide where we go from here. Oh, dogs plural. We have Lili here, who's a guest dog. This will be a guest dog episode. By that I mean it goes on the guest dog playlist. Just the special episodes where, usually it's just me and him, Quigley, over here, right? Most of the time, most of our recordings, it's just me and Quigley going for walks. As mundane and boring as that is, and y'all are welcome to join along with us vicariously and enjoy these experiences with us. And yeah, we do have a Walkies with Friends playlist. We contributed to that the other day, just the other day actually. Like it's once in a blue moon episodes where friends come along with us, come for a walk and a talk. It's like a walking, talking, dog walking podcast in a way. Nothing too seriously topical though, just narrating our lives as usual, pretty much. Enjoying each other's company, so to speak. And then I thought, I've got to have a special playlist for when it's kind of like a walkies with friends, like a doggy play date in a way, but we don't have another human guest, we just have a doggy guest. And Lili has been for quite a few walks with us. We've been house sitting her, taking care of her in her house while her owner is away for quite a few weeks, so that's been quite nice to have Lili along for plenty of walks with us. Quigs. Oh, this is the extra special adventure for Lili because most of the time I do take her out on adventure walks, but not normally this far away from where she lives. We've gone for a decent drive, and I like driving and listening to music, and so it's been a great way to just spend this lazy Sunday. Randomly deciding to come here. Where should we go? Let's just drive until we find a place. Nice and cruisy today. Some quite nice bird sounds in this park, I have to say. So there's no real route plan. I don't even know my way around to this park. It's not our first time here, but it's one of those places where you just sort of meander around and let the dogs choose where they'd like to go. Hey, it's kind of what I'm doing anyway. Yeah, I tend to talk too much and blather and skite on a lot of these dog walk recordings, but I've been just making an effort so far to just shut up and let you all listen to the beautiful bird sounds. And the doggy noises. Hello.
Safe to go by?
Hey?
Safe to go by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just meandering, mate. Which way do you guys want to go? Hurry up, make your minds up. I actually didn't 100% understand what that other human was trying to say. Maybe when we play back the recording, I'll be like, oh, that's what they said. But I asked for clarification and they repeated themselves and I still didn't understand what they said. Sometimes my brain just isn't in the right space for translating what people are saying. Even if they're speaking the same language, it's quite, It's like my experience of travelling to other countries and knowing full well that the people I was talking to were speaking in English, the same language I'm speaking, but they're just the way that they speak it and their accent and the way that they sound is all different and confusing. Oh. Oh. One of those special birds. You dogs are trying to get footage here. Toihoa. Bye. Bye bye, birdie. Oh look, there's one. You see it? Did you see it before me? See, we're going to do a bit of a sing-song for us. Oh, you dogs aren't helping me record this. Dogs don't care. They're just like, come on man, let's go. And now they want to get stuck investigating something. And I'm like, come on man, let's go. Looks like the park services people have been around here, tidying things up a bit, lopping back some tree branches and stuff, clearing the encroaching foliage from the pathways. We're going up there, are we, Lili? Seconded by Quigley. Oh, we don't want to go up here, this is the street. Boring. So I've noticed this spot before, and because Quigley and I live in a big old house bus, right? Don't know if all of you viewers will have seen that. And so always looking at places as if, oh, I wonder if I could park there. And this grassy spot here, I can imagine parking the big old house bus on there, but you're not going to find me doing it. Tend to be allergic to grass, parking on grass, especially with a heavy vehicle, and you're like, could be afraid that it's going to get stuck on the grass. These dogs have got themselves all twisted here, so I'm starting to just feel pained by that, wanting to undo it. Running circles around each other, these two. Alright, let's get back down into the trails. I mean, I guess maybe there's some trails across the road. Maybe that's why we came up here. Maybe the dogs aren't wrong. Maybe there's purpose in their way of going about things. Sit. 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 Quickly, sit. Okay, crossing. Taihoa. This way. Yeah. Just looking up and avoiding a wood pigeon that, you know, may or may not choose to poop while we're standing right under it. The wood pigeon poops are quite substantial, often full of berries, because that's what they eat. Berries, berries, and more berries, and then they poop out the seeds. And for the trees that have the berries, I guess that's sort of like a symbiotic relationship. Don't you think? Do you agree with that? Because the berry seeds get distributed in the pigeon poop. Quite windy today, so you know, at first when we got in the car I thought we were gonna veer off towards the beach and go for a beach walk. Then I realised how windy it actually was, so I'm just warning you that we might not stay out here in the open if it gets too windy. So this is actually a dog exercise area where you're allowed to let your dogs off and let them go running and all of that. And that's a community garden over there, which I've always thought is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool community garden. Yeah, so the whole reason for me bringing us to the inland bushwalk was to escape the wind, which we've done for the most part, except for climbing up this wee mountain and then standing in the clear space. It's too windy, you dogs. No dogs allowed anyway. There's a no dog sign. Can you read that? Lily, can you read that sign? Look at her, she wants to go in there. Let's see what happens if we let her go that way. She's like, yes, please, let's go in there. Hey, Lily. This way. Should we go down that one? Go down this way? I'm trying to keep this dog on side. Keep walking around circles around me, you stupid dog. That's just an explanation for you all that are watching why I spin around in circles so much. Also, when I drink from the water bladder backpack, it makes a funny noise, and I always mention that when I'm first going to use it during a recording because I can't allow the funny noises to go unexplained. Oh. What I really should do is replace the water bladder, just because, you know, there's no way to open it up really and properly inspect the inside, and I'm pretty good at making sure it's clean. Only clean water's going into it. But just as a matter of course, I think it would be a good idea just to buy a new one annually. And that means I'm probably overdue for replacing this one. Sit. Sit. Noho. Noho. Lily. Sit. Waiting. Okay, crossing. Oh, we crossed in front of the traffic there, but that's what happens, I guess, when you're climbing out from behind a blind corner. Plus, it's always good to trust the motorists to be careful and aware. Yeah, I hate the sound of cars too. That's why for the most part you'll find that our dog walk recordings, we stay away from the roads. And saying that, this greenbelt parks, public parks, bushwalks and everything that we've got going on here are right smang dang in the middle of one of humanity's most built up areas in this country, Wellington City. So it's almost like you can't escape the sounds of the city pretty much. It's just nice that, in addition to that, you can enjoy the shade and the peace and serenity of the forest and listen to the streams and the birds. It's good, it's nice. It's such a slow descent walk because they're pulling on me and I can't be. And part of the training for me is to, when they pull hard, I slow down. It's also safety. I can't be coaxed into going faster down the hill than is safe. And the poor dogs just have to put up with it. I'm like a big anchor. And they're stuck to the slow moving anchor. Well, this is either the middle of, if I can be bothered, this is either the middle of an episode, if I can be bothered to record for an hour, or it's the end of a half-hour episode, which, you know, I give myself permission to do from time to time. Just pop in a little short episode, shorter recording than the usual hour goal. It's actually my self-mandated maximum to record up to an hour. And at least 30 minutes for each episode of the dog walks. And also every episode, which I haven't done so far, I have this routine of repeating the same quality assurance sort of guidelines, firmly pretty much aimed at first time viewers so that you understand what you're seeing a little bit better and our intentions and stuff. And then I'm sure regular viewers don't mind. In fact, one of our slogans, our repeat every episode slogans, is show us the poop, which I imagine, hurrah, when we're famous, could be our ironic reverse psychological slogan. Because I've got a magical non-pooping dog on this YouTube channel. The rule number 2, pun intended, is that you don't get to see my dog poop on the recordings. You get to enjoy everything else, but as for that slightly embarrassing and gross dog owner responsibility, where I have to pick up the poop or bury it or whatever the situation requires, I just don't bother recording that. Sometimes I accidentally point the camera at that and we edit that out, but by and large these recordings are unedited, intended to be like anti-hype, anti-AI, and escape from the big bad world and hype content that otherwise exists in the crazy ass YouTube universe. And on that note, I also have a slogan on this YouTube channel representing rule number 1. The slogan being, never mind the 6 o'clock news. So although I tend to blather and skite and talk about all sorts of stuff and narrate our lives as we go while we do these dog walk recordings, made it a rule throughout all of the channel's history, actually, all the way back to episode 1. It's been a rule that I'm not allowed to talk about anything that's on the 6 o'clock news. And sometimes I might slip up and you can jump in the comments and going, aha, you're not allowed to talk about that. And that's fine. But at least I'm making the effort to regard this YouTube channel as to consider the qualities that are here in these recordings for you. For this, to invite you to watch these with us, and you can trust in our content not to be filling your head up with crazy rants about anything that might be on the 6 o'clock news. I don't use this channel for that. I do like the self-expression that it is, where I get to jibber jabber and know that thousands of people will listen to this. Well, that's good, but it's just my quality assurance. I tell you all that I don't talk about that dumb stuff that's on the 6 o'clock news, just to make sure that this is a peaceful headspace for you to enjoy with us. And that's what this is for us in real life, going for these beautiful nature walks, grounding ourselves in nature, and it's very important to us, especially being city slickers, really. Well, there was a trail here, but it's closed. Good luck with that one. No, we're not going that way either. I just want to see the sign. The bridge has been destroyed. Yep. Up some steps. Yeah, so those housekeeping ground rules, I do say those every single episode. And I always crack up about how you don't get to see the dog poop, but you don't get to go a single episode without listening to me talk about the poop, which is a sad byproduct of that whole thing, that whole meme. Alright, let's go up then. I'm not a big fan of the arduous hill climbing, but we're not 100% adverse to it, so some of our recordings are exactly that, and I get a bit self-conscious about those because of all the heavy breathing. Whoa. Well, what a mish. Oh, we're definitely doing our steps today, dogs. More water. Yeah, I want to turn so we can get back out to the road. And that's going to be the end of the dog walk, I think. We get to this road, we find the car. Can't be that far down the hill. Road cone in strange places. Oh, right. Where are we, dogs? You guys have got me lost. Not really. We're not really lost. Yeah, I think that's enough walking for me today. From here on out, we're going to go find the car and then have a rest and then enjoy some more driving and listening to some great music. Thankfully, Lily's car, I call it Lily's car because it is her car really. It's more her car than mine. Lily's car's got a great sound system in it. I don't know if she appreciates that. She's actually a bit adverse to loud noises. super windy. So that's cool. Up there in the trees is a birdhouse habitat. Man-made obviously, but supporting the local bird life. Happy dogs. Alright, we'll keep recording. I keep thinking about shutting off the recording because I thought we were getting close to the car, but we've actually got a bit of a mission ahead of us. I just peered through the trees and found a landmark that made me realise just how far away we are from where my wishful thinking head was hoping we were. So that's good. And in my mind I realised that there's actually two ways we could go to get to where we're going. And one way was the other way, not this way, the other way was a way of loud wind noise. So even though I think it would have got us, so we were going to go where we need to go quicker, I swerved this way so that we can be protected from the loud windy noise in the sky. Do you remember back to the days, I do, when I was young and the internet was young? They used to call it surfing the internet. Isn't that funny? It's not even a thing anymore. People don't say that anymore. And I think in this modern age, we don't really surf the internet anymore. It's more like we've got jet boats these days. You can't surf the internet because the sea of internet is full of jet boats and it's too dangerous. Surfing was kind of a colloquial way of saying I was just discovering, like clicking from website to website links and discovering stuff like we used to. And now that kind of still exists but doesn't. Instead of finding stuff, we're more likely to have things foisted upon us, like wave after wave of stuff that we don't really want. Can't call it surfing because you practically need a huge boat these days and all sorts of safety. Why am I rambling about the internet now? Why did I start talking randomly about the internet? Okay, I'll shut up. What else can we talk about? Dogs? You thirsty? Do you guys want drinkies? I got water. I got water for y'all. Well, at least we got out and did a dog walk this weekend. The last weekend we didn't. The weather was horrendous, which I don't mind. You know, sometimes I'll go out recording when the weather's horrendous, but I was also just very low on energy. And then looking at the calendar thinking, oh, the next few weekends are pretty busy. Being busy with other things is also a usual excuse. But also not, because sometimes it's like half a day of rest and half a day of work, or a full day of work, 2 half days of work, do this and do that. And then there's weekends that come up where it's like, I actually just want to do nothing today, thanks, because every weekend I'm always doing this, I'm always doing that. And my 9 to 5 day job is driving, so when it gets to the weekend and I am allowed to permit myself to just stay home and not do any driving, that's a good feeling. So every now and again I have to take that opportunity. Well, I am going to end the recording soon, because the further we walk along this trail, the closer we're going to get to the traffic and the road. And I feel like ending this episode here in this beautiful nature spot rather than the loud noises of humanity that lay before us as we arrive back to the roadside and find our vehicle and get back in it. Yeah, so we've had enough of this dog walk for today. And if you've watched all the way to the end, you're probably quite liking this. And you might be sad that this dog walk is going to end. But it's not the end of dog walks. For you, all you people who are surfing the internet, there are hundreds of hours, literally hundreds of hours of dog walking content on our YouTube channel. And we just plod away and keep contributing episode after episode of the same old thing. The same old boring thing. Some guy from New Zealand walking his dogs around beautiful places. And it almost has no reason to exist, but it does. It's good. And so, yeah, go ahead and find yourself another episode. We've got a playlist for all the dog walks, which you can play on shuffle and just randomly be transported by us around this beautiful country for dog walking experiences. Put it on shuffle and get yourself a random experience. Look, I told you I didn't want to record the road. Now I've blathered on for too long. Here we are. So, yep, we'll just level with not recording too much more of this and letting y'all have at it with the next episode or whatever else you're doing next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.